Joining me now, Federalist co-founder and Fox News contributor, Ben Domenech. So, Ben, the president says he's got the whole thing under control, but as you watch this and you watch various crises just on the southern border, never mind the economy, COVID, or Afghanistan, do they have a plan here?
Well, Kennedy, I think that one of the things that's going to be amazing, because this is now bound to happen, is that we're going to have one of those Joe Biden reminiscing moments where he remembers all the times that he's been to the border and all of the stories and experiences that he's had there. Probably going to happen in public at some point before they cut that mic. It really is amazing to me how much this administration is willing to pretend like everything's okay in every respect. But nowhere is that more true than when it comes to this rolling border crisis. And it is a crisis that has been unceasing this entire year. And look at the situation that you have right now. Yes, there's this shiny object of, oh, we're going to take some of these Haitian migrants and we're going to figure out a way to deport them on planes and that type of thing. That's not the majority of what's going on. Instead, they are being released on their own recognizance. They are being released in ways that almost certainly do not end up with them showing up at an office within the next 60 days. And I think that what you saw happen over this past week, you have to keep in mind, this is something that is intentional. You do not have over 10,000 people show up from a certain part of Mexico without something being planned and being permitted. Mexico is on the cusp of being a failed narco state. The cartels essentially decide what happens on the border. Someone flipped a switch and gave permission for them to come. And the real thing that I think we should be asking is, what were they doing on all the other parts of the border that Border Patrol wasn't able to pay attention to because they had to deal with this crisis? What were they getting across? And how much are we going to see that have an impact in terms of fentanyl deaths and other potential outcomes in that nature? We have to understand the cartels run the border. We don't.
The cartels run the border because drugs are illegal, yet still great demand for them in this country. You've got 30,000 Haitians in Colombia. They are eager to make their way here through Central America, into Mexico, and finally into the United States. As you pointed out, Del Rio has become the magnet. But, again, there is not a system in place to process people. And, I don't disagree, sending them back to Haiti is cruel. If you're dealing with an assassinated president and earthquakes and all sorts of other natural and man-made crises, sending them back there is really the worst case scenario. So don't we have to prioritize asylees and refugees in this country?
Well, of course we should, but I also think that one of the things that we saw coming down the pike as soon as Joe Biden got elected was that they were going to roll back everything that President Trump did, regardless of whether it was a smart move or not, simply because the left has adopted this attitude that if it's associated with Trump, it's bad, it's stupid, it's wrong, think, etc. And in fact, what we've seen is that a number of those policies actually did lead to a situation that was sustainable on the border and that was leading to people not having that magnet effect that comes when you have these types of permissive policies. Look, we have a situation there that has to be brought under control. It has to be brought under control before we can have any conversations about a bureaucratic system, a government-run system that is absolutely broken when it comes to our immigration problems. But that's always been the case. It's why you needed to have that binary of a secure border before you can have any conversation about what's going to happen and how we should allow people to come here.
Yes, because this is not how you allow people to come here. This is not the situation that you create. And as you pointed out, this administration is just trying to get them out of there as quickly as possible because this is such bad optics for them. And, it just mires them in this immigration debate that really no side wants right now. But this is something that is truly splitting the Democrat Party. Ben Domenech, thank you so much.